Barcelona, you pay the money. Atletico Madrid wants, or you shut up. You pay the money or you leave. You either pay the money or you do not get the player. Those are all your options. You don't have any other options. You can't force Julián Álvarez out of Atletico Madrid. Julián Álvarez signed for Atletico Madrid in 24. In August of 24, he still has a contract for 4 years. His contract expires in 2030. So there's no way you are going to force Julián Álvarez out of Atletico Madrid without Atletico Madrid signing off. Now, you have approached this the wrong way. Every single person understands what Barcelona did in this situation. You put it out there in the ether, maybe with Fabrizio Romano, that you want Julián Álvarez. Julián Álvarez's head is then turned. You then speak to the player. Deco and the president then speaks to the player. The player then understands and agrees personal terms with you. You obviously then go ahead to make a stupid bid to Atletico Madrid. Now, just so you guys understand, this is not the way it works when it comes to transfers. You don't have the right to speak to the player before the person that has the right of the player give you permission to. Now, we understand when it comes to football that tapping up happens every single day when they go international duty, when they literally play against Barcelona in the dressing room. We understand. But when it becomes very, very apparent, when it becomes very clear that you are tapping up, not just tapping up the player directly, you are going on indirect wins to then talk to the player, that becomes illegal. And that is the reason why Atletico Madrid is looking of laying a complaint against Barcelona to La Liga. That right there, or to FIFA, that is the problem. Because now you have angered the one person that would have given you opportunity to get Julián Álvarez. So now it's a situation where they don't want to negotiate with you. Now who loses? Julián Álvarez loses. Barcelona loses. They don't get their top target. Julián Álvarez has now come out in the World Cup to make a statement that he wants his dream to be fulfilled. He wants to play for Barcelona. That is just bad advice. I don't know who advised him to do that. It's ridiculous. Because what is going to happen now is that Atletico Madrid, if they are petty, they will keep you on the bench and you would not be able to go to Barcelona. They will pay you and you will sit on the bench for 4 years. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he finally gets his move and Atletico can absolutely get every single dime from Barcelona. It is reported that it's going to be 150 million pounds for him. Get every single penny. So now that I've given you guys the major talking points of everything, let me give you the full timeline because it will blow your mind about this situation. In August of 2024, Atletico Madrid signed Julián Álvarez after struggling to become Manchester City's number 9. Because Erling Haaland was there. Atletico Madrid broke their transfer record to sign Álvarez from City for around 95 million euros. The idea was quite simple. Build the attack around him, make him the face of Diego Simeone's next project, replace the goals and the leadership of Atletico Madrid that have lost for previous years. It was quite simple. In the 2024-2025 season, Álvarez immediately becomes Atletico's best players. He showed everything. The goals, the pressing, the creativity, the leadership, the big game mentality, even after the controversial Champions League penalty against Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid never lost faith in him. In the early settings of 2026, Barcelona began looking for a long-term replacement for Robert Lewandowski. And on their short list, it included Julián Álvarez, Alexander Isak, Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Šeško. Now guess what? Alexander Isak, Liverpool. Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal. Benjamin Šeško, Manchester United. But internally, Álvarez quickly became the dream signing because he fits Hansi Flick's football perfectly to the T. And in May 2026, Barcelona make their move. Reports emerged that Barcelona submitted an opening bid around 100 million euros. And immediately, Atletico rejected. No negotiations, no counter offer, just simply rejected it. Because before they made that bid, rumors have already started flowing around that they had already made personal agreements with Julián Álvarez. They had already pitched the deal to Julián Álvarez. They had already spoken to Julián Álvarez. Atletico Madrid's social media response came. Instead of quietly rejecting the offer, Atletico publicly mocked Barcelona on social media. This immediately escalated the tensions between both clubs. Barcelona fans responded. Atletico fans loved it. The rivalry intensified. And that is where everything literally went off track. Barcelona did not give up though. Despite all the rejections, Barcelona continued monitoring the situation. Internally, they believe he fits the Hansi person. He's the striker that needs to play for Barcelona. He can play behind another striker. He presses like a midfield player, and he is the only person amongst the crew, apart from Benjamin Šeško, that is entering into his prime. He becomes Barcelona's #1 attacking target. However, PSG entered the story. Paris Saint-Germain is also monitoring Álvarez. That were the reports. The report suggested PSG were willing to pay more than Barcelona. For a brief period, PSG was viewed as Barcelona's biggest competition. But guess what? Álvarez's preferences emerged. Multiple reports claimed that Álvarez privately tells Atletico Madrid, "I want Barcelona." He reportedly believes Barcelona style suits him. Barcelona is his dream move. He wants to become their long-term striker. Nothing is made public yet. Everything happens behind the scenes at this particular time. Atletico Madrid, however, refuses. Their position on this particular one, not for sale. It's quite simple. They reminded everyone he's under contract to 2030. They don't need the money. Selling to Barcelona would be strengthening a direct rival and weakening themselves. So their answer becomes no again and again and again. And then it gets to a position. Different figures begin to circulate. Usually that is when a team understands that the player wants to leave, and so they put in money to either price out the player or to say, look, if you want to leave, we would make sure we get every single dime from you before you leave. Barcelona reportedly value him at around 100 to 150 million euros. Atletico Madrid responded by pointing out that his release clause is 500 million euros, making it very clear that they have no intentions of negotiating unless an extraordinary offer arrives. And then the World Cup starts and everything changes. While playing for Argentina at the World Cup, the rumors explode again. Every press conference becomes about Barcelona. Every interview includes transfer questions. And then the bombshell happens. After Argentina defeated Austria, Álvarez publicly speaks. He says he has spoken to Atletico Madrid. And in those conversations, he said the best thing for everyone is a transfer. He also wants to fulfill his dream. This is the first time he publicly confirms that he wants to leave Atletico Madrid. And that basically makes Atletico Madrid lose their mind. They are losing their shit. Barcelona reaction in that situation, they were delighted. I know Barcelona fans, Habib, shout out to you, that were absolutely excited for the news that he came out to say. Until now, everything depended on convincing Atletico Madrid. Now, the player himself had declared war against Atletico Madrid. He has declared that he wants to leave. Barcelona believe that this strengthens their negotiating position. However, they do not understand that Atletico Madrid have 4 years on his contract. It is insane. Atletico Madrid become furious. The club are reportedly unhappy with this situation. Barcelona's continued pursuit are making them angry. Constant media leaks are making them angry. Public comments are absolutely infuriating them. Pressure from the player is also making it very difficult for them to move any further with this situation. Their message remained unchanged. No negotiation. They made it clear. Some reports even say the club officials have grown tired, that they describe it as a repeated speculation surrounding the deal. They are grown tired about it. Other clubs are watching. As soon as Álvarez asks to leave, interest grows from Arsenal, PSG, and Real Madrid before later cooling with Real Madrid on that situation. Barcelona are no longer alone in this particular one. But this is where the problem lies. Even if Atlético Madrid changed their mind, Barcelona still face a huge obstacle in their way. Financial fair play is definitely there for Barcelona. Regulations or registration rules is definitely there for Barcelona to jump as a hurdle. Funding, a massive transfer fee, is definitely a problem for Barcelona, and matching the wages that he's on right now is also a problem for Barcelona. Reports indicate that Barcelona are not prepared to meet Atletico's highest valuation because it's 500 million euros. Nobody in world football right now deserves that kind of money or is worth that kind of money. So what is happening today, the June 25th of me recording this situation? This is where the saga stands. Álvarez has publicly requested to leave Atlético Madrid. That's one. Barcelona still consider him their dream striker. That's two. Atlético Madrid insist that he is not for sale and continue to reject negotiations. That is three. Four, Barcelona is unwilling to match the most extreme valuations being discussed. That is four. Five, Arsenal, PSG remain interested, while Real Madrid have reportedly cooled off their pursuit. And the last but not least, the player has made his intentions clear, but Atlético Madrid still hold the strongest negotiation position because of his long-term contract and his release clause. So why is this story so big? This isn't just about another transfer. It is the clash between a player chasing his dream, a club refusing to strengthen its rival, Barcelona trying to sign the next franchise striker despite financial limitations. And last but not least, one of Europe's biggest transfers standoff that we have seen in a long time, where neither side appears willing to work with each other and appears willing to back down. So the question is, do you think Julián Álvarez will be wearing a Barcelona shirt, playing with the likes of Yamal, Rafinha, and the rest of them? Or would he be on Atlético Madrid's bench for the entire season? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the follow button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.